And let's just step back for a second. Profit 21 would just be an icon on your desktop. And when you come in each morning, you would just launch that. And I'm going to log in as Bill Smith. He's more of a, of a branch manager nature, or an employee at a branch. And a couple of things that you'll see as soon as you log in, these are all the different things that he needs to do, he needs to follow up on. So you can see he's got a couple of quotes he needs to follow up on. He's got some site visits that he needs to make, a couple of cold calls, etc. And if I drill into one of these, if I drill into this quote follow-up, the system will actually set up a reminder for me, and it can remind me based on a future date and time to follow up with a customer's order. And this was the Valentine's order that we did previously, that was reminding me, just call back to customer, make sure, they received everything on their Valentine's order okay. So that's just a piece of the workflow that as soon as you log in every morning, you could really be presented with a online to-do list. You can have as many different dashboards or, again, online reports as you may need. So if I want to see all the orders out there that have special orders associated with them, I can sort by that column. And now I'm looking at just the orders out there, the special orders, and I could even click into the order itself and go right into the order entry screen on that order. I also built all that information can be right on your screen. Okay, so this could be more of a graphical dashboard showing me my product category, and in this case, Veraza's Floral and Gift Shop, whether their sales are up or their sales are down, etc. Okay? So that's one of the first screens you'll be presented with. I just wanted you to see how you log into the system, before we started going through a lot of different areas. Now, I've already logged on this screen and opened up order processing in this example, or order entry and quoting. So I can see I have an order pulled up. So again, I want you to see how, what you're going to see when you log into the system. And now I'm going to go into this user, that's already logged on. They've got an order entry screen pulled up. And actually, because it's a true Windows solution, you can have as many different windows open at once as you may need. Here I'm looking at their Valentine's 2014 order for Jane Ford Designs, but I can also switch over to a blank order entry screen that's running in the background, and it's Veraza's floral shop calls. I can simply type in their name and start a new order on this screen for that customer. So it gives you the ability to quickly and easily work in multiple sessions at the same time. So if he's needing some of these roses here, that's going to quickly add those right back to the order. Okay, and I can see that I still have this order going on in the background for Jane Ford Design, and I have this order on this screen for Veraza's Floral and Gift Shop. So you don't have to drop what you're doing. If the customer calls and you're in the middle of working on something else, you can just quickly open up another screen, get the customer in and out the door, or on and off the phone as quickly as possible. He only has 3 things. So that goes back to ease of use. Make it very simple for the users to enter the orders and get the customer in and out the door or on and off the phone. Okay? Now, everything that you're going to see is going to be real time within the system as well. So this quantity available is truly available as of the second. Okay? So if I change the quantity here from 200 to 300, watch that 1,000. It's going to go down to a certain number. Oops, this is that. That's one of these release orders. So let me go back to this other order. So notice here, when I type in another rose, and I'll point out that this is searching through this customer's history. This is just looking at the roses that he buys. It's not looking at the, possibly hundreds of roses that we have. These are just the ones that he normally buys. I'll show you in a minute when we get into order entry how you can also search throughout everything you have. But understand, the majority of your orders are coming from repeat orders. So this is just an example of a customer that's going out there and repeating an order from their history. Okay, so if I change that to 20, notice now my quantity is 75. If I change that to 50, Now my quantity available is 50. Okay, so it's real-time allocating material. Everything that you're going to see is going to be real-time. There's no batch processing. There's no day-end processing. Everything is going to be totally real-time. Okay. Now, another thing with the ease of use, I know you get a lot of pre-booking orders. So let's say a customer gives me an order, but they don't really need it until sometime in the future. Maybe they need it sometime around Mother's Day. Well, I need to go ahead and get that order in the system, and I'm going to set that for the 16th of May. But maybe I'm a new user and I'm not exactly sure what that required date's going to do. Well, if I'm a mouse person, I can simply right-click and go into the help. Or if I'm a keyboard person, I can hit F1 for help, and that's going to tell me exactly what the required date does and how that's used within the system. So give me a real-life example on how that feature would operate and how it would work. I'm sorry, was there a question? No. Okay. Sounds like the line is on that is not on mute, but that's fine. I can hear you. Okay. Okay. So again, just wanted to show you, some of the things that revolve around ease of use. You can also use the keyboard or the mouse throughout the application. So if I just leave my mouse still, I can come out here and place an order without even touching the keyboard. Notice if I type in FLO, notice that finds some of the customers have FLO at the beginning of their name, in the middle of their name, at the end of their name. So let's say I'm looking for Garage's Floral and Gift Shop, and they say we're in Laredo. Notice I typed in FLO LAR, and it found the city Laredo, and it found FLO within their name. Or I could type in LAR, and then FLO, and it still finds the same customer. So it's really more of a Google-like search. You just type in any piece of information that you know. I have my phone number in here, my cell phone number, and it ends with 1059, and that takes me right to Scott Industries. So searching is very easy within the application. Now, you can also search if you have multiple people at Garage's Floral and Gift Shop. You can actually search by the person's name. So I can type in Bob Campbell, and notice the system knows that Bob Campbell is a contact at Garage's Floral and Gift Shop, and that's going to pull his account up by the person's name. So under that account, I actually have multiple contacts set up under that account. We can identify, what type of contact they are. Are they a person that buys from it? Are they a designer? Are they a florist? Are they maybe a funeral home, etc.? So it gives you the ability to, if you want to take it down to the individual contact level, that way, if I do a quote or something like that for Bob Campbell, if I click on this contact tab, I can send an email directly to Bob Campbell because we've got his email in here. And again, that would launch an email, in this case to Bob Campbell. Okay? So the contacts are going to be key, for getting information to your customers, to their phone, seeing their cell phone numbers, seeing their contact numbers, their email addresses, etc. We can do pre-booking orders, again, in your terminology, or some of the gridding, right in the system. So if we know somebody's going to need something sometime in the future, I don't have to put that down in a spreadsheet or somewhere else. I can go ahead and get it in the system, but just tell the system it's going to be a future date that the customer is going to need the product. So I can come in here and say, I don't need to release this until a future date and time. And I could even say default it to all items, or I could have different dates on different items. I'm going to say this is, maybe going to be a Mother's Day order, and they really don't need it until this date here. Okay, and then as we start entering the items in, notice we have 420 of these. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put in 1,000. But notice it didn't take the 412. There's no reason to go ahead and take the 412 because that customer is not going to need it until a future date and time. Okay, and again, I'll just type free And then 50 this time. The advanced search can go out. I was typing in rows before, but again, you don't have to type in rows or know the name. I just typed in free for freedom and 50, and then I'm going to add that to the order. We had 100 out there. Customer needs 300. So what that's doing, it takes all the work out of doing this outside the system. The system can manage it for you because it will know if this item has a 10-day lead time. Where you're not having to manually manage all that, the system can manage it for you. Okay.